Chat. What are you doing? Set up an alert on my Discord server for whenever I'm streaming. Because trusting YouTube with this is too much. I can't do a proper job. And not to mention, I'm really curious how many numbers I can pull today. Because it's very crowded. Very, very crowded. Especially since I notice there's news coming out from the... how should I put it? More drama side of the internet. Hello, Ignitro. Ignitro. Let me just put this on my Discord because I forgot. And I think it can be remediated. Is that okay? Remediated? Did I just make up a new word? I noticed. Shut up, V. Here we go. Boom. Badoosh. And I think I should put another one in VTubers. There we go. Right. Crowded night, man. Crowded night. I mean, everyone is streaming. And I saw the HoloLive girl streaming. 40,000 people watching. I'm like, Jesus. 40,000 people watching? Yes. 40,000. Holy shit. And they were not doing that much. Let me see if I can show you. Like, number goes up. Literally. Just a second. Here we go. Look at this. Chat. Behold. I don't know if you can see it, but trust me. 40,000 people watching. With the HoloLive girls dressed like this. Clap feet. Hover seat. Onyo. Hong Kong. I'm jealous as fuck, by the way. In case you don't know, I'm salty right now. I want this, chat. I want this. A little bit. I don't want 40K. Okay? But like 10K, that would be great. Or would it, though? You know, another question. Like, here's the problem on YouTube. Let me tell you something, chat. When you're small, you can get away with a lot of shit. You can have Sargon come on your channel and drop the N-bomb, and nothing happens to you. I mean, things happen to other people on Patreon, but that's another story. Like, you just get away with it. But when you grow, you have responsibility. So in a way, it's nice growing, right? Because, I mean, that's why we streamers do our streams. It's so that we can reach people. Otherwise, I could just stream in my own bedroom. The walls are very listening. Especially if you live in a totalitarian state. Like, if you go to Germany or Ukraine... Sorry, not Ukraine. Germany or UK. The walls are most likely listening to you. Especially if you're in California, you know. But we got a microphone. And we can talk. So, because of that, we want to have people to listen to us. And the more people we have, the better it is, right? Because, like, you reach more people. You're more influential now. But... if you're too influential, the moment you say something, well, an apocalypse happens, your channel gets deleted. Thank you, Tomato V. Yes, it's totally not a birthday, because I'm celebrating my birthday tomorrow, right? So I'll do that. I'll have something more interesting. Right now, I just want to stream. Just want to chillax a little bit, because I've been very, very tired. I mean, I've been working on This Week in Stupid for 12 hours today, and it's just very difficult. The editing, especially, like, I'll give you a hint. I may have or may not have Sargon on This Week in Stupid. And I asked for a 10-minute clip where he talks about things, you know, to reminisce of the old days. And the guy thought that this is YouTube 2016. I mean, there were a couple of problematic jokes that he had, which I had to remove. For example... he called the wife of Will Smith a woman of low moral fiber, but he used a more vulgar language. Let's put it like that. And I'm like, dude, there's no way that this goes up on YouTube. Okay, so I had to edit that. And I've been editing quite a bit because, like, when you edit, you need to make it sound like it's still fluid, right? Like, you can't just chop it off and then the audio goes. So I had to make it in a way that it sounds as if it's not edited. So that took a long while. He also showed some muy problematica images on stream with people of color in the ghetto doing a struggle, and I'm like, I can't show this on YouTube. And again, you have to remove that, edit the audio. So that was a thing. But after that, it's like, okay, let's find the news, like what to talk about. And I can't tell if the news is satire or not because it's 1st of April. Like, for example, Jen Psaki wants to leave the White House. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, is she living for real or is it a joke? Because, like, it's kind of weird to announce this in public, right? Because it's a conflict of interest. Like, in any other country, it would be considered a conflict of interest. Like, if I'm the spokesperson for the White House and I'm at a press conference and I announce that, okay, well, I might be working with MSNBC. Well, how do I know that they're not giving preferential treatment to MSNBC? Like, how do I know the questions from MSNBC aren't given prior? I mean, in a normal functioning democracy, like that's a question that people would ask, and now people don't even bother asking. It's like, oh yeah, well, of course the media and the government work hand in hand for the benefit of the people. So Wim Shoot, thank you for the €5. I can't add the beep because I mean I could add the beep, but like I don't want to get him in trouble. Like he's so innocent in his cute and adorable ways, thinking that this is the internet of 2016. And I told him back in the day, like, you need to check your language. And he was like, no. And it's coming. Like, look at the censorship, right? This was, I believe, like 2018. And I was telling him, like, look, you need to delete this video from your channel. It's like, and he was like, no. And, well, it is what it is. I mean, what can you do? But he is innocent. It's adorable. He thinks his principles, I guess, apply to the rest of the world. They don't. We don't live in a liberal country that our fathers used to live in. Well, your fathers, not mine. Mine lived in communism. But you know what it is, right? Like back in the day, I think like in England, especially, you could say whatever the fuck you want. I mean, I don't think like there was so much censorship after World War II like there is now. And I think like an activist, a right-wing activist who shall not be named, was escorted out of the free speech corner, right? So people in Britain, they don't have free speech like in the United States, but they have like one corner in Hyde Park. It's in London. And apparently in that corner, you can say literally whatever the fuck you want. So you could criticize the king if you wanted to. You can mock the nobility. You can curse. Like literally anything you wanted, you can say it in the Hyde Park free speech corner. And there was this activist who went there and he was arrested. It's like, oh, well, that's very progressive now, isn't it? And it's kind of sad because when you think about it, the new government in the UK is conservative. Like, they won in a landslide. And they could take advantage of this and be like, okay, well, we don't want to censor. Especially when you're censoring shit that is part of the leftist platform, right? I mean, if you think about it this way, it's like, okay, if you want less sexism, who do you vote for? Obviously, you vote for the progressives, right? Because they're the ones with the feminism. Like, the conservatives are evil. They're bigoted, right? So why would you censor staring in the London Metro, for example? It's fucking weird. Whatever. In the USA, was it Larry Page that got more free speech? I have no idea. We could just have rose-tinted glasses about the past. Yes and no, okay? Like, obviously there were always things in a society that are taboo and you weren't allowed to say. But I think, like, because of social media, you couldn't say something that would ruin your life. Because now, because of social media, you get audio clips, like sound bites, right? So what happened to Joe Rogan? Like, Joe Rogan got sound bites put together, and the moment you try to argue that it's context, you lost the argument. So we live in a world of soundbite. Like, a soundbite can ruin a person completely. And there's no recourse, right? You can't defend yourself. You can't find another job. That's it. It's the soundbite. And this didn't exist in the past. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Jakey. Thank you, MTP. Again, like, I don't want to celebrate my birthday today because I'll do it tomorrow. But I do appreciate the good gesture. I don't even process that it's my birthday yet because usually it's like when you go to bed and you wake up and it's like, oh, it's my birthday. But now it's just past midnight, so I guess technically it is, but I haven't ate the cake yet. My wife got a beautiful Snickers cake. I can hardly wait for it tomorrow. So yes. Yeah, it is tomorrow. Like technically it's my birthday, but I don't process it, you know? It's when I go to bed and I wake up, then it's my birthday. Do I think Hunter will be buying another laptop? I think he has many laptops. It's kind of funny that now the story is allowed. Like, this is literally how you need to say it. It's allowed. Like, you're allowed to talk about it. It's allowed to be a story. Cringe of April. Man, I really hate 1st of April. Although I do have to say, like, Face Connect did a really nice job making all the ladies into men. And you have Peter Pipkin instead of Pippa Pipkin. Like, I love that. I don't know if you guys saw it. You should. And another thing, like, which I actually wanted to buy is the keyboard covered in grass, which I used as a thumbnail. Like, unironically, that's a good idea. Like, I would have purchased it. Although, like, I don't know how long it would be able to go through the abuse. Because, you know, it looks really cool when you paint it with grass like that. But the problem is that after many weeks of use, it would probably have the grass come off it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So, let's talk about something else. My VTube avatar. Right. Now, some people said, like, no, V, you don't understand. You shouldn't be a VTuber. And I'm thinking, like, why not? You know, like, I mean, betting technically is a VTuber if you think about it. Like, what did betting do? And it's not just betting. It's many other people that used to be in the commentary scene. They would have had the still image that would have several facial animations, like several facial expressions. And they would comment and they would have the image move around. So why not? I genuinely, like, don't understand. Like, nothing would change except that you would see a little troll in the corner doing funny facial expressions. Now, I'll try it. You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I think it's cute, right? It makes my content less serious. Because I don't want to be serious. You know, I'm past being serious. Like, I understand nothing will change. I just want to entertain people. I want to make people laugh. So, I don't even know if you can call it a VTuber. I mean, technically it's a virtual tuber, but it's not anime, right? Because a lot of people were like, oh, well, I don't like the Weibo thing. It's like, okay, well, it's not. Yeah, Atheism is Unstoppable is a VTuber. Like, he uses the still image of the kangaroo, so why not? Actually, I should contact Atheism is Unstoppable and show him this. Yeah, Computing Forever is another example. Like, he also uses the cartoon avatar of himself. It's pretty much like that. I don't see the difference. Like, I see people in the chat, well, not in this chat, but in, like, my main video, and I do read the comments, and they're like, oh my god, if you go VTubing, I'm going to stop watching. And it's like, I mean, I wish you wouldn't, but, like, it's ridiculous. I don't understand why, you know? Like, do you rather watch a blank screen? I mean, look, this is the whole thing. Right here, right? Would you rather watch this than to have this and a little troll in the corner? You know, that can also make some facial expressions and be a little bit more expressive. Because that's the thing, like, I can translate emotions better. I asked specifically for the eyes to be expressive, right? So that he can enlarge one eye or he can make the eyes glow and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, you can say, well, do what you want, which is something that I understand, but reality is I run a business. Look, I want to be honest with you guys. I don't like misleading people. When you watch a streamer, even when you watch me, like, it's still a business, right? Like, you guys are the customers, and I do have to do what the customer wants. Now, obviously, if one or two of you were to be upset, then I don't care, you know? But, like, if I were to see a chunk of people that are upset, like even 20%. If 20% of my subscribers were like, no, this is not something cool, I'd be like, okay. Because I care about you guys, you know? It's customer support, if you will. Because without you guys, like, I wouldn't be doing this, obviously. Again, like, I could be streaming with you guys, or if not, I could just be talking in my room with the walls that like to listen. I've watched for 4 years. Jesus, Lesser Logic. That's a lot. Your point of view. Happy birthday. Thank you. I appreciate that. I listen to you while gaming or doing other stuff. I mean, yeah, that's a good point. You know, like the avatar is optional. Like, you don't have to look at it. You can just not watch. I mean, look. Right now, you just look at a blank screen, right? But if I were to put a little troll here, and you really didn't like it, like, nothing would change. You can just ignore it. It's like, I don't think people are watching the screen right now anyway. I don't even know what to fill it with. As long as it's not anime, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I did my best to stay away from anime. I just don't think, like, okay, so first of all, anime is overdone. And it's overdone not because it's really good, but, like, what else are you going to use? Right? I mean, what other franchise besides anime is popular right now and is not cringe? Like what, Star Wars? I mean, Star Trek? If I had like a little Spock in the corner, first of all, I would get copyright striked, and secondly, it would not be going well with the people. Because like Star Trek is a franchise that's completely ruined by the progressives, right? So you don't have any other subculture besides anime. So, I mean, do you want the Steven Universe? You want a Steven Universe in the corner? What else is the United States making, huh? Besides Steven Universe, I guess like a Hasbro character could work. Whatever. So yeah, I don't understand the fetishism with gypsies. It's it's boggling my brain. I mean, okay, whatever. You know, it's really funny when people in the UK call Romanians gypsies, and it's like, okay, but like, how would you like it if I were to call you Pakistani? You know, because you got like more Pakistani than Romania has gypsies, because it's used as a slur, right? Like, it's never used as an endearing term or a nice term. It's basically used like the person has negative connotations towards the Roma ethnicity, so they're using that in order to think that they're going to upset you. And it's just like, you hear it once, you hear it twice, you hear it 1,000 times. It's just like, oh god, you know, whatever. The same with vampires, to be honest. And by the way, like, I'm not into political correctness. Like, say it as many times as you want. I don't give a fuck. But it's like, it's just like, I don't get it. Like, especially when a Swedish person uses it. Like, I were to get it if an American uses it, right? Because, like, but like, when a Swedish person or a British person uses it against a Romanian, it's like, dude, have you looked at your own demographics? Like, I mean, if you want to use it as an insult, I'm just saying. Vampire is also annoying. Vampire annoys me for a different reason. Vampire annoys me because, number one, it's not a Romanian monster. I mean, there are so many cool Romanian mythological creatures that no one knows about because, like, Vampire. And Vampire, again, it's very overrated. Like, everyone knows about it. But, like, there are these folklorian creatures, like the Yele. So the Yele are these very hot, beautiful women that are dancing, usually in the middle of the night or in a forest. And if you see them dancing, you can't stop but join in, and you're going to dance with them until you die. Like your feet catch fire. Like, it's very painful, right? That's an interesting monster that exists in Romanian folklore, and no one knows about it. Why? Because I'm a vampire. Here's another monster. Actually, you know what? Almost everything from The Witcher exists in Romanian folklore because it's Eastern European. And there's so much rich lore to be had, but like, no one knows because it's like, oh, well, my vampire. Okay, whatever, you know. SRC Maker. Even my wife likes atheism is unstoppable. Actually, he's the reason we got a subscription to Censor TV. Go for it, V. Yeah, I'll actually talk with AIU. Talk to him about having a VTube avatar. I'm curious what he would say. Get a dancing forest chick avatar, yeah. Look it up. Look it on Wikipedia. I can't show it to you because most of their depictions are naked. But you can search for this. Was a dancing monster thing an episode? The thing with like dancing monster, well, it's not sirens, right? Because like the sirens are the ones that are singing and are attracting sailors, and they take them to a drawn death. No, like this is seeing naked women in the forest, or skimpily clad women in the forest that are incredibly beautiful, and they're dancing, and you start dancing with them, and you just can't stop. So you're dancing for like days, weeks, months, and eventually you just die, right? Because like your muscles tear up, you know. Oh, Bath Worlds, man. After so many years, I finally get a super chat from you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But like again, it's not my birthday, guys. Like tomorrow is my birthday. I'm not celebrating it today. VTube AIU would be too much. Why? You literally have like the guy with a kangaroo head. I think it would be funny. You should call me a succubus. I don't know. Do you think I suck and you buy? Maybe. This is a pretty sucky stream, isn't it? I haven't prepared. It's just that I'm trying to unwind. I'm trying to relax a little bit because I've been way too stressed working on this Wicked Stupid, trying to censor Sargon's hate speech. No, nymphs are not like that. Nymphs can be good. I mean, well, nymphs are actually... Yeah, they do have superpowers. I guess there would be like... not really demigods, but like, yeah, they're spirits of the forest. So they do have powers, and some of them can be good, some of them can be evil. They're described pretty much like average humans, you know, with like different temperaments and whatnot. So I wouldn't say that the Yelele are like the nymphs. No, it's something different entirely. Like you can't really find a similarity between them and Western folklore. I guess like the only thing close enough is like in Warhammer 40k there is a spell. No, sorry, in Warhammer, not the 40k, the medieval world. There is a spell where you can make someone dance until they die. So there is that. Oh, and in 40k, I think you have the Harlequins. No, not the Harlequins. There's like a Slaneshi demon, which also starts dancing, and you dance with it, and you know, you also die painfully. Yeah. Oh, this wasn't a birthday present. I understand. You like a woman with a nice bush, with a little landing pad, with a Hitler mustache down below? Is that what you're saying? The Western European equivalent is the satyr, entrancing people with piccolo and wine. Yeah, but the satyr is ugly, right? It's like a goat. The Mask of Slanesh. Yes. The Mask of Slanesh. That is correct. Yes, it is the Mask of Slanesh. People know so much, and I know so little. See, I wanted to raid someone today, but like with the 81 people, I can't raid anyone with 81 people. If I can't get it up, I can't do the raid. Chat, help me get it up. It's like 81 people. I do appreciate it though. Yeah, it's fine. It's not like, first of all, the competition is rough. I mean, Pipa is streaming right now. The Hololive girls, they're getting 40,000 views. There's drama with Mr. Rolf. I understand. Like, people keep briefing me about it in DMs. Like, did you know that Rolf is in front of Blaze TV? And I'm like, no, why? And it's like, because he's angry. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, apparently there's drama. So it's hard. It's competition. My birthday is on 2nd, but like I'm trying to celebrate it tomorrow, right? Because I'm going to go to sleep, and when I wake up, I'm going to consider that my birthday has started. Too many people screw up the chat. I see. Oh yeah, Raging Golden Eagle is there. Let's see what Raging Golden Eagle has to say. Hold on. What is Raging Golden Eagle streaming? I hope it's nothing problematic, because I don't want to A Raging Golden Eagle. Look at Flamenco. 400 people watching. He's got more people than me. Holy shit. He's got 200
reality,
people.
And reality is life. No, you can fix that, but yeah, no permanent solutions to temporary problems here. Oh, Wong won 100 tournaments in current year -1. Damn. Okay, that's good. At least he's making a living. Even if the prize for winning each of those tournaments was $1,000, that'd be $100,000 a year. That's a pretty good.
What are we talking about? Like, I have no idea.
I have to time out every King of Fighters boss ever.
Oh, King of Fighters. So I just got the game, but like it's screen cropping for me. Like it glitches. I'll try to figure something out.
Oh man. Oh, good. Going to the 100 tournaments, people couldn't win. Well,
I should challenge RGE to a fighting game. I mean, I beat Flamenco. I beat the living shit out of him. Mopped the floor, literally. And what's interesting is that Flamenco beat Jim, so I guess I managed to beat 2 people with 1 strike. So maybe RGE plays fighting games. Maybe I can play with him.
Like him, you know. You can't do that in fighting games. Okay, if you knew there was a real Matrix, but you could set your own parameters going back in, would you reconnect? I think it depends on what the life was like outside. It might be cooler. You gotta out cheap them. That's how it works, man. Like that's why you got these tier lists in fighting games, because certain characters are pretty easy to cheese. That's how it works. Seen tons of spamming in tournaments. Yeah. Whenever
I'm subscribed to RG, it's just that this is my streaming channel. Like when I subscribe to someone, I don't subscribe to all 3 channels.
They find some broken combo or something with a character, guess what? Every so-called pro starts
look what I'm getting in my recommended. Look, the algorithm knows.
Using them, and then someone comes up with a counter, and things get fun. You learn to stun lock. Challenge you to Street Fighter 5. I've never even played. Actually, no. I bought the game and I played it for a few days. I think I do. Yeah, I do have it. I think that's on PlayStation, though.
Oh, my God.
Ew, I'm not touching that anymore.
It means that I'm going to wipe the floor with him as well.
Yeah, it's obvious. Like I've never claimed to be good at fighting games, though.
All right, well, we got nothing else to discuss. I mean, it's over. His take about fighting games bothered me. You know, like his take about politics is something that I agree, but like his take about fighting games is a little bit problematic. Look, Roman is in the chat, and he knows fighting games. You know what? I'll do something right now. Let me see if I can do something. Hold on, let me try something. Chat. I'll try something. Try something cool. Give me a second, chat.
What's up?
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can the chat hear you? That's the interesting part. We want to talk to you about fighting games. See, now it's a little bit of suspense. It's like, wow, if he wants to talk to me about fighting games. Yes. Do you know fighting games?
Yes.
Yes. What do you think about what Raging Golden Eagle said, that pro players are spamming the same move over and over?
Well, there might be some truth to that in maybe specific characters. Mm-hmm. Like if you're saying like you're spamming the kick button, if you're playing Chun-Li and you're at the end of after a medium kick, crouching medium kick, you start spamming your kick button. But even then, there might be a better combo to do besides that.
I mean, the way I view it is with fighting games, and it's only with fighting games, right? Like no other game has this. Like there is this loser mentality that new players have, that you have to quote unquote play fair.
No, I was exactly the opposite, but that was because I was the best at
Yeah,
company.
exactly, and that's why you were good because you didn't have the loser mentality. So the loser
Yeah,
mentality.
I actually got punched one time because I hit a guy while he was stunned after I comboed him
That
into
is so
oblivion.
dumb. That is so dumb.
And then he turned around and just whacked me on the shoulder, and I'm like, "Wow, guess I'm never playing you again."
Yeah, I know. Like I got a
I
punch in the
broke you.
solar.
It's like breaking. It's like breaking somebody. You've
Yeah, I
broken
got a
them.
punch in the solar plexus once at the arcades. And
Oh,
I was
wow.
I was like, dude, and what really upset me is that I gave him the coin. Like we went to the
I got
arcades
really
and
close.
I gave
I
him a
got really
coin.
close.
Hmm.
I got really close to punching somebody one time because he kept apologizing when he was beating me at Street Fighter Alpha thing, and I knew why he was doing it
Hmm.
because I had not prided myself on being really good at it. I didn't think I was the best in the company at Street Fighter Alpha series.
Hmm.
Um, and this guy was good, but he would only play Dudley, right? So I played pretty much random characters, and I knew them all really well, but I wasn't the master of
Yeah,
any
he
of
had a
them, and
main.
I hardly
Yeah.
ever played Ryu because I just picked random all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas he would switch between Ryu and Dudley, and I could beat his Ryu all the time with just about any character except for like 12 or Elena or something.
Yeah.
Those ones I would just get my ass handed to me. But whenever I would get in a game with him, he had started practicing Dudley a lot, and he got so good at Dudley that I couldn't beat him anymore. He was just too
Yeah,
fast with that
he had the
little
main. He was
long
playing
range
properly.
jab, and yeah, he was doing a low crouch jab and then a stream across the face, and just kept meeting me until he knew that I was like deterred from trying to get out, so he could get in close and do a headbutt, and then combo, do the uppercut into the corner. So I'm just like, yeah, you got my number, dude. I'll have to play some more. And he kept saying, oh, okay, sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, but
That was pretty rough.
keep it a
I'm
little
like, dude,
bit.
don't say that, or I'm gonna get you. I'm getting mad.
Yeah, no, I get well, try to keep it for the chat. Take into account they don't play fighting games like we do, so try to translate the story for them so they can understand. But like what we're talking about is that back in the day, like people are whining now about, oh my god, online violence. We used to play at the arcades, or we used to play in person on the couch.
Yeah.
And yeah, like some competitive games actually did end up with people getting punched. It's so
it's
weird,
still
right?
the same online too. I've been in Samurai Showdown fights where the people would get so mad online, they're just calling me all kinds of profanities. Like, I know if they were there, they would have slit my throat.
Oh my god, there was this case in China, I believe, like at Counter-Strike. There was one guy cheating, and he ended up in the emergency hospital with like you see the x-ray and you see the knife blade going through his head, and they saved his life. Like, he didn't die, but it was like, like from a video game. And people usually go like, oh my god, well, it's just a video game. It's like, well, yeah, but like people would do that from poker before, like in casinos there would be fights. Like, why do you think they have like really tight security in casinos and in bars?
Yeah, but there's not even money involved. That's why I always despise that physical. I mean, that guy almost broke me because he was purposefully antagonizing me, and I didn't like rub it in people's faces if I was better than them, but they would get so frustrated.
Like
at
a
the way
sore
I would
winner
beat
is
them.
the worst. Yeah. Man, I had a friend, and I still like playing with him, but like he's so cancer. Like when he loses, he is so fucking salty. It's like, oh, I lost because you play like this, or because lag, or what.
Yeah.
And when he
Yeah.
wins,
See, I like that. I feed off of that. I love
but
it
like when he wins, when he actually wins, he's like, yeah, you're shit at the game. You're not getting good. And I'm like,
yeah, I know.
Or sometimes he wins and he's still like, oh, I don't like playing you because you play like this and that. And it's like, dude, you won. Just what the fuck do you want? Like, if I let you lose, if I let you win, you're salty. If I beat you, you're salty. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. For me, that's what makes it funny. But that's because I don't take it, that personally.
I know. But like my point was that like back in the day when people played face to face, there was actual violence, and I think it's such a weird level of violence, right? Because I saw people get into it, but like they calm down right away. Because like like these games, they make you angry for the moment. Like, for example, right? You play League of Legends, and someone does something really stupid. You get angry, but like you calm down 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
And it's the same, right? Because like you see people like at the arcades, they would start punching each other, but like for like just 2 or 3 minutes, and then they're like, "Oh, why are we doing this?" You know, like why are we?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's somebody who has a good self awareness, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's people that don't have very good self awareness. That
Well, I mean, there's that guy Wings, right? Like, there's a famous recording of him where he goes and he punches the wall, and he punches a hole in the wall, right? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, literally afterwards, he felt bad for doing it.
yeah, yeah.
But it's like, it's so weird. Like, games can make you lose control like that. And I think it's
No,
because you
well,
invest a lot of energy, right? Like, you channel your entire energy into that video game. And when it goes bad, you get really upset and you're angry. But you calm down afterwards.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with Olympics and Olympians and stuff like that. I've seen
Oh,
them.
it's just like, yeah, you're right,
orchestrate.
but it's not even Olympics. It's like kids playing football in the park.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. John McEnroe in the tennis court days. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are some funny, hilarious, you know, fits of rage that they get in. But then they're like totally calm and acting
Yeah,
normal a
exactly,
couple
exactly.
minutes
Like
later.
the locker room talk, what was called, right?
Hmm.
When you were at school. I got 10 mixins from Mirai. No, 100 mixins. Happy birthday. Thank you. I appreciate it. SRC Maker, $10. Best fighting game ever was Street Fighter 2, specifically at the arcade in the early 1990s. Why? Here's why. After school, unorganized tournaments, lots of time ended up in real fights. Good times.
Yep. Yeah.
It is so true. Yeah, people
That
bitching
was that
about
was the only time I ever saw Asian on Asian violence or Asian on white violence or white on Asian violence. I mean, I hear about it all the time now, but that was the only time I actually saw it. Was at the Golfland arcade in Long Beach.
But like people complain about DLC. Do you remember how much money you would spend on the arcades?
Oh yeah, it's unfathomable. Well, no, I mean, I guess compared to what I dropped on, what's it called, Overwatch, but that was all Blizzard bucks, so it wasn't real money. But yeah, I
Yeah.
probably spent
No, but like
a
when
lot.
the arcades, like the games were difficult as fuck, and I think they were difficult with a purpose, right? And not just fighting games, like any game you play. So, and you had like every time you died, you had to insert another coin to continue. And the thing is, like the more you played, you got deeper into the level, and you just wanted to insert more coins because like otherwise you start the game all over again. And I know people who spent a lot of money on the arcades. I mean, it was very, very costly. A lot more than DLC.
Yeah.
By the way, whatever happened with Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm?
Oh, that was another one I bought a lot of characters for. I don't know.
You bought
Me and my
Didn't you
me and my
design
wife
some
just
of them?
y-
If you can't
I did
talk
a
about it,
couple.
don't talk about
No, I can. I did a couple skins, but not very many.
it.
Like I don't remember. I can't really remember at this point.
I
I don't
think
think I
the
did very many
Halloween
skins.
Alexstrasza one is one that you did.
Well, no, I designed her the Halloween Alexstrasza. Can you show me an image of it?
It's the one that has bandages around there, and you can see her plump tits.
I didn't design that.
No.
I don't think so. I designed the original Alexstrasza for WoW, but Heroes of the Storm was a completely different team that took a bunch of the characters from the different IPs and made all new outfits for them.
But
Like I think I did like one concept for Sergeant Hammer, but I don't know if it ever got in.
How did you design Alexstrasza for WoW? It's literally a blood elf with an armor that's red. It's not really an original design. I mean, it's just
Add some horns, change her eyes to like cat-like dragon eyes, and plump some parts of her body up a little bit more than others. You know.
So it was like she actually did have bigger breasts because I was looking at it. It's like like why?
Yeah,
why
they're
is
a
she
little.
bigger than my
I don't.
character?
I don't remember for sure, but I know I messed with some of the body geometry a lot. Like I gave her a little more.
Oomph.
Yeah, I think I pushed things out a little bit more. Not up in the chest area, but down in the hips. I think I did. She doesn't have like the same.
Yeah, she was more
hip.
thick hip.
Like the regular blood elf has very like 10-year-old boy kind of hips.
Yeah.
And the dragon aspects, I kind of plumped him up a little bit more.
Have
Same thing with
you
the male. Same thing with the males. Like Nose Dormu, I went off on that guy. I tried to make him like Osuyoi kind of level.
did you see what's his name? Asmongold's rant about the
It's on my
Banshee
list. I haven't
about
seen it
Sylvana.
yet. No.
Like he said that in the beginning, Sylvanas would have had an OnlyFans,
Yeah, that's how I made.
and he said that. Wait, you made Sylvanas?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, the original one.
Mm.
But I think the one that they might be referring to is the one that Chris Robinson did.
Oh,
He
the
was
one
the
from
art director.
Warcraft 3. Wait, which one did you make? The one from Warcraft 3 or World of Warcraft?
World of Warcraft, but the original one was just a night elf with black gossamer or black silk robes on,
Mm-hmm.
like the one that you get from
Yeah, it even had
Black-
the bouncing animation. Yeah.
Shadowfang Keep or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just going off that, but the new one that Chris Robinson did one. I think he did the second iteration of her around Lich King because we were going to use her for a lot of the in-game cinematics. So they needed to have a higher fidelity texture on her because she just looked weird next to like the more recent models that had, their own character models. And that's when we started doing like unique character models for all the world leaders. Like I did.
Yeah, because it
Vol'jin.
was so weird with Sylvanas. Like, the night elves, if you stood in place, they started jumping up and they were very happy.
Yeah.
And Sylvanas was supposed to be like this depressed, like goth chick.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she started bouncing up.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, because she wasn't using the Forsaken characters.
Yeah, she was obviously a night elf reskin.
Yeah, because they wanted. I remember the original thing was for her to look really pretty, and that she was a Forsaken version of a night elf. So I don't know if that's exactly lore, but it was something like that.
Asmongold says that part of her character was that she was very vain, like she was really into her looks.
So
she would put like makeup before combat. Like sometimes she was more interested in the way she looks while fighting than actually winning the battle. And he said that he really liked that type of character, but they completely ruined it. Like Blizzard completely destroyed all of that lore with Manvanas. With it's a ma'am.
Yeah, I think the idea is that she's still like that, but the way that they decided to go about dressing her and restructuring her jawline and stuff through surgeries and stuff like that it doesn't really convey that same level
femininity,
of vanity unless what she's going for is a sort of Adonis kind of look.
She's like the most overpowered character in the World of Warcraft universe at this point.
Like I think of, what is it, Adon? Who's the one that? No, not Adon. Who's the guy that was the boss? Urian. Was it Urian? No, the one with the long hair who was like red and blue. He was like red on one side and blue on the other, and he had the long gold hair.
Oh, the Street Fighter 3 Gil.
Gil, that's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like maybe if they're going for the Gil thing with her, like that she's slowly becoming like both genders simultaneously, but like a godlike version of them, like Xerxes or something like that. He wore a lot of makeup and was very, very smooth.
Yeah, I mean, look, I tried getting into the lore, and their explanation is that she made the pact with the jailer, which is this very powerful entity, and he's lending her the power. And I'm thinking, like, Arthas was also OP as fuck. Like, Arthas was also really imbalanced. But you get to see his journey going from zero to hero, if you will. Like, you get to actually see his transformation. So that's why it makes sense. But with Sylvanas, it's like she all of a sudden gets access to this power, and she can beat anyone. I mean, she defeats some of the mightiest heroes of the Horde. She defeats the Lich King. She defeats the entire Alliance force that is after her. And I'm like, okay, but like that's the only one that can actually defeat Sylvanas is another woman, right? Like another strong woman, Tyrande, right? Like that's the only one that can beat Sylvanas. And I'm like, oh god, like I can see what you're doing, and it's so pushed by ideology rather than what the story demands.
Yeah, I think there was certainly some of that. I don't think at the beginning of her rise to power was really was really because of that. She was always supposed to be really, really powerful, but I don't know if she was supposed to be the most powerful, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like she wasn't able to beat the Lich King, for example, right? Oh, she manages to defeat
Oh, well, you have to
not
remember the Lich.
Alexstrasza, the other
Yeah,
one. What's her name? Another dragon aspect. The Emerald one. The green dragon, right?
Cassandra.
Yeah.
Cassandra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She one shots that green dragon, and I'm like, "Ugh, really?
Caught her off guard, I guess.
Nah.
Sucker punch. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so sad because like Warcraft 3, in my opinion, is one of those games that's a classic. Like its story is so fucking amazing. I mean,
Okay.
like you get to play with the bad guy, and you hate yourself because when you play Arthas and you're murdering civilians and stuff, and it feels so wrong. Like I remember
It
I was
feels
playing
so-
Warcraft 3, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? What? I don't want to do this." No, like literally, the first campaign in the Undead, like you're in Lordaeron, and there's people trying to run away. Like there's citizens that try to escape, and you have to kill them all and not allow them to escape. And it's like, well,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. There was some really cool moments in it. And I don't know who I was talking to, but this kind of like summed it up for me, is that like it felt like it was an okay story.
mhm.
And I don't mean this anything bad about Metzen. I think he's a really good writer, and that all of his ideas are really, or most of his ideas for stories and stuff like that are really cool. But it did feel like, because we were trying so hard to make sure that the lore would fit together and everything, that it felt like a series of really cool moments, like when you watch the Viking
Movie, yeah.
the Viking show,
Mhm.
it's like all these really cool moments, but the story that ties it all together doesn't really feel that.
I don't know. I liked it. I
It's
mean,
not like J.R. Tolkien level, and I don't expect it to be. It's still really good standalone, but when I viewed the whole thing, it felt kind of like average,
I
like
guess
it was
it's because I'm also comparing
sustainable.
it with other games that were out at the same
And
time.
you're also a lot younger when you played it. It might not be
Probably.
as
Like,
intriguing.
probably EFAP with Rags and Mauler would have an aneurysm if the game came out now.
Yeah, if they went through Critical Dringer went through the story, he'd probably just be tearing it a new one, of course, but that's their job, right? So, yeah, it felt serviceable. It's better than most current Marvel movies for sure.
It's better than
In
most
that,
current
but
Marvel movies. Did you like the movie, the World of Warcraft movie?
no, I was really bummed about that.
Why?
It was more of a tearjerker for me than a
Yeah,
than an
I
action
think
movie. Crying the
like
whole
they
time.
didn't, they should have set the universe better. I mean the way I would have done it, like what they did is like, oh look, the orcs are people too. Like no, the first Warcraft movie should have focused on like the kingdom and maybe like some Game of Thrones shit that they're having, and all of a sudden you have these barbarians invading, right? And that should have been like the first Warcraft movie, and then the second you show, okay, well the orcs are human as well. But like in the first, like no, the work should have been like the exact same you have in Warcraft Works of Men, right? It's like they're savages, they're brutes. They look like this evil that can't be contained and keeps flooding through the dark portal.
Yeah, like I felt like there was it was a story made for
Hollywood.
a move for a Hollywood, like a popcorn kind of flick, but it didn't get as dark or as mystical as what I felt the world had to offer. Right? There was some shadow or some glimpses of it, like when you see the lost ones in the cages and stuff like that, and next to the perfectly almost human looking version of what's her name, the assassin girl, Garona.
Yeah,
Right, in the
I forgot
cages, you see all
it's
these like
forgettable.
total
Yeah.
gimps. Yeah, so like I like Garona. That was one of my few characters in the very first one that I contributed, like an assassin that could pass uh, for human enough to make it through human towns, but then they didn't really make her look human enough, and it was too obvious that she was orc. It was weird, and they didn't really follow the lore correctly for her anyway. Or did they? I can't remember. Like she had something to
I
do
don't
with
know.
Medivh, right?
I never
Anyways,
understand why
forget
the
about it.
fuck do they
You're
take
right.
IPs
I don't want to waste time
like
talking about
Halo,
it.
for example.
hmm
It's all these elitists like, oh my god, this toy soldier has lore. Oh, so ridiculous. Like let's scrap it. And it's like, why would you take an IP and not follow the lore? It's something that just I don't get it. It's like either make something new, but like even then, like you can just take the IP. Like you can take World of Warcraft, right? And you can have like a limited story, like a farmer that's in a village and something happens. I mean, you can literally have the entire story of Darkshire or some, like minor place. You don't have to do something grandiose necessarily.
Um, yeah, like if they would have done something more like a slice of life kind of thing instead of
Mm-hmm.
focusing on the main characters. But yeah, they put so much time into the main characters, and that's how you're going to grab the attention of the widest audience. If you just show like part of what works so great for Lord of the Rings is that the focus of the main story is on lesser characters. They're not on the most powerful
Mm-hmm.
characters. But in WoW, it's the opposite. They go right for telling you the story about the most powerful characters. If
Yeah.
they would have gone back in time to a time when Arthas wasn't uh, super badass, but it was still around Arthas's journey instead of
Like a soldier in Arthas's army, for example.
yeah, that might have worked, but I still think in order to put butts in seats, they would have had to have a lot of
I don't know.
the
I think the
OP
name put
characters.
butts in seats. Like I think when you call it World of Warcraft, you put butts in seats.
Well,
Even
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah. That's the other thing, right? They didn't really need to worry about that too much. So sure, that's a good point. Like, I mean, I don't think very many people knew who Medivh was, or
yeah.
Rin or anybody like that. I don't think they really. The story doesn't really focus on them. The main story that where people kind of remember the characters is from like Warcraft 3 on.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the main what I would have done. But I think there's just so many. It's just kind of a bummer for me.
Oh,
I did a lot of
another
concepting
thing
at the.
that really pissed me off is that Warcraft doesn't want to kill characters. Um, I mean, death isn't permanent, Tempest Keep was merely a setback, and I'm thinking like, why do you kill them then? Like, okay, sure, you go on a raid and you're fighting Kel'Thuzad,
Didn't
and
they
you're
kill?
like,
Didn't they kill? Uh, what's his name? Not Kale. Um,
Illidan.
Illidan. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, didn't they kill Illidan? They killed Arthas.
Yeah,
They
and I was
killed
like,
the
these are really
new
great
Lich
characters.
King.
Like, okay, you want to do a raid and you want to fight Illidan. It's like, okay, do that. But like, why can't he surrender so he's still alive so that, you can have him later as a character? Like he could literally like, I mean, Maeve was there, right? So when he's like 1% of health, he can just fall to his knees and give up or whatever, and Maeve can arrest him. It's like, what? Why just kill the
Why did you have to
characters?
kill him? Well, you're gonna kill him a week later, right? When the dungeon resets.
Yeah. But like
Doesn't
from a
matter.
lore point of view, because I really liked Illidan. Like he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
my favorite Warcraft 3 character.
hmm
And it's like when and they killed Kel'Thuz as well. Like that also pissed me off. It's like, oh come on, like two of the really badass characters you just killed.
They did kill Kel'Thas, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that wasn't
twice.
twice. Yeah,
Yeah, once in a raid and another time in a 5-man
I
dungeon.
got to the point where I could solo him with my Death Knight.
Well, a lot of people did that, right?
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah,
I built a Death Knight just because I saw videos of people soloing raid bosses from Burning Crusade with the Death Knight. I'm like, damn, I gotta go make a Death Knight right now.
Death
Sorry,
Knight was
babe,
so
gotta go.
overpowering. It was a horrible character. I wonder if
Made
they're
it
going to make
fun for a
another.
while.
I wonder if they're going to make another class because like last expansion was like literally a cash grab. No new classes, no new races, no new features. It's
What
just
was it?
like
Shadow something?
yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't have time for that stuff anymore, man. Gotta work.
When do you
Gotta
think
meet my
World
crazy
of Warcraft is going to either go free to play or die? Do you think that's going to happen?
stuff. Or die. Uh, yeah, I don't know.
Like the
They
server
should.
shutting down,
Yeah, they should be doing it now, right?
Well, I think they ran out of ideas.
Yeah,
To
You
me,
got
it
me,
boggles
man.
the mind that there's still people playing. I mean, pay 15 euros for like what, 1 month? Jesus. And then you have like the microtransactions as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well it's doing. I have no idea if it's doing well
Well,
or
it's doing well enough
poorly.
that they don't release the numbers anymore.
Yeah, probably not doing great, but it's still somehow they're keeping it going, keeping the lights on in there. No thanks to
Yeah, I wish
California's
they
economy, but
like they had years to make World of Warcraft 2.0, which is what they should have done. You know, like the game is so freaking old. Like you can absolutely tell, and the combat system especially. Like you should have a combat system that's instant. You know, like you press the button and the shit happens. Have like some skill shots in it, but no. Why would we have that? I'm also
yeah, I think they should make a new game and try a different type of model. Like, yeah, I wish I could get into it more. I mean, for what I knew at the time when I left, but that was a year ago. I don't know if they've canceled it or sorry, if they've done anything new yet or anything like that.
I'm really surprised they didn't do a MOBA battleground like 3 lanes and towers and shit and like 5v5.
That's what they didn't want to step on the Heroes of the Storm stuff, most likely.
That's
They want
such
to
a stupid
funnel
take.
people over to.
Yeah, but like it's a stupid thing because it's a different game. I mean, one you need a lot of time to invest to get to the point where you have the gear to do the 5v5, and another one you can just play and whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should go because I want to go to sleep. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I might have guests.
Yeah, dude. Happy
It was
birthday,
nice
man.
having you, and yeah, thank you for the troll.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, again, I don't know if you saw my messages on Discord. I kind of went long-winded on it, but let me know if you need any explanation of any of that stuff I typed out.
Talk to you later.
All right. Have a happy birthday. Bye.
Well, chat. Like you're complaining that I'm neglecting you. It's very difficult to talk to a person and at the same time talk with the chat. It just can't be done. I saw what you were saying. Like I was reading your, especially Frank got upset. It's like I saw it, but like come on. How many people we got? We got 60 people. Can't rate shit with 60 people. So I'm gonna watch Pippa's stream. If you guys want to check her out, do that.